Hello everyone, Paul here from the Pin Academy. So as usual, we are going to be implementing our approach, top-down analysis. Whatever we have learned on the chart, by analyzing, then we follow through the setups throughout the week. When the market opens until Friday, you compare with your analysis and see how our approach is playing out, okay? So we have learned a lot of things, many topics. So it's time to keep implementing them and practicing, okay? So it's going to be a bit long because we are going to do very many examples because the week is starting in a few hours, depending on where you are. So the examples are going to be many so that it can be very good for us to remember what we studied, okay? So since most of you requested the pairs, most of you requested for have USD in it, it's really, really important for us to start by looking at DXY because the DXY does measure the strength of USD, okay? So, and they correlate, okay, directly. If the DXY is strong, the dollar is strong. If the DXY is going down, the dollar is going down. And that correlation is very important for you as a trader, as long as you're trading anything with the dollar. Also, in one of the fundamental videos, I mentioned about how most of the currency pairs have their strength measurements, okay? CAD has the CXY, the pound has the BXY, the Australian dollar has the XY, Euro has the EXY, and many more others, okay? So make sure you always look at them and see the strength of that currency, okay? So without wasting time, let's start with the DXY. So when I open my chart, of course, also I've always mentioned this. The time frames you choose are up to you. We recommend monthly, weekly, and daily for structure, direction, and structure, okay? Then entries H1 and H4, then you can refine them at 30 and minute 15, but you can change the time frames to what you to the type of trader you are, to what you're convenient with, okay? So starting from monthly time frame, let's try to get our direction. Now, one thing we can observe immediately is that we are approaching, or we are already in the level of a support. Actually, let me change the color. I prefer using specific colors. I clearly see that previously, from here, the market was rejected up to down. Again, it came back where it was ejected up to down. Now, to show us that this level is key, you can see the price came and built a wall here, what most of you would regard to as order block, and then pushed up. You can see again, price is hold, it has been held in this area. But now, to be very precise in price action, you have to look at how price is closing. See here, it closed in this area. Now here, it made a false breakout, false breakout, false breakout, false breakout. So price is currently correcting that. As long as that go beyond this level here, we shall say that that's now it's making a proper retest and we can push up. But also another thing that you need to observe is that if I'm to push up from here, where is my destination, the immediate destination? The immediate destination that we do have is a hidden structure that we can see here. Let me also change this color here to that, okay? This would be our immediate destination. So we're at support and we want to see the market rejecting a little bit higher. But what about the other smaller time frames and the structure time frames like weekly? What do they say? Now, when you go down the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that we had a turning point here, which was a support, okay? Or don't forget to adjust, okay? Otherwise, the slab will be so big. The more you go to smaller time frames, you can adjust, okay? So for example, here we can adjust to this so that the slab is not so big, just like that, okay? So now you can clearly observe that, again, here the price created a turning point and we broke below it and never tested. Also, we broke this one. So we broke this turning point and this one. This one can be also an impulsive move. And what did we say? What rule did we say that we use whenever there's an impulsive move? We said we use the tool called Fibonacci retracement. So you draw it from where the move started from up to where the opposite move came in, which is this level here, okay? So you can clearly see that we have a confluence exactly in this area here, okay? So you can also mark that there. If you want, you can also place a line here, but we don't want to have very many things on our chart. So I'll just delete this and I'll delete this, okay? So we are saying that we do expect at least the price to reject from here to push a little bit up into this level before even continuing down, even if it wants to continue, because the rule of impulse is impulse, we correct and we continue, okay? But we don't want to guess. As a trader, you don't want to guess. Even this support here can be broken, okay? Where we are, it can easily be broken before even reaching here. So when it is broken, this becomes resistance and then we can continue. I don't want you guys to cram, okay? So we are at support and we are marking where could we go in case the market is to bounce from it. So they're bouncing, but the strength is still not so good, okay? Now, if we're to break lower, where could we be headed, okay? We have levels of hidden structure here that we have. You can also mark it in case you want, okay? this is a strong turning point whereby market was rejected. We came to reacted, false breakout, and then created also a hidden structure. You can clearly see that. Then we could be targeting that. So we have mapped out our levels. Actually, let me just change the colors. We do this one in weekly, just so that we don't get confused. This one was in monthly. This one is in weekly, okay? This one is in weekly, so I'm just going to delete this. Now, let's go down the daily time frame, okay? So when you come down the daily, we're just going to adjust first the levels that we had marked here. Let's first make them very, very organized so that they're not so big, because these are the very levels we use when we go to our entry time frames, okay? They shouldn't be so big. So we can just adjust this here, also adjust that here. Then also we have these other ones down here. If you want to leave it there. If you don't want for now, because the price is not yet there, if you don't want, you can remove it so that your chart is very clean. Decision making is very easy when the chart is clean. This one is going to remain the same because these are fib levels. Now you can clearly see that price is still coming back into this region here. If we can have something where price can come react like this, then we can push higher here. Then we can have fulfilled our objective, okay? But now, if in case the market breaks down here, we have said that we shall be coming here. Of course, also we have some minor levels in daily that you could utilize in case the market broke. We have this area here, and also we have these areas here, okay? These are all levels along the way. I'm not going to mark them because price has not broken here, but I'm mentioning them since we do not do daily breakdowns, okay? Like everyday breakdowns, so that when it happens, you can just mark them there, okay? If price comes back up here, still you utilize. We have structure here when it breaks above on a retest, you know that we are pushing higher. Now, most people do not trade the DXY, but we use them to tell us the strength of the dollar. So now what we're looking at here is that it's trying to tell us that the dollar has hit a certain level of support, okay? But it's not yet having the strength to go up. That's why you see most of the pairs involving the DXY are still not yet very, very strong. Like the dollar is not yet very strong, pushing them either up or downwards, because it has not yet decided. Because we hit the support, yes, we tried to push up. You saw the dollar gaining strength here and there, but then you can see the week ended when it was pushing down. Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, you saw them closing the week very strong, okay? So we want price to give us a push a little bit lower to touch into this support. We shall be having an M. Now, whenever there's an M, what do we want to see? We want to see the market pushing higher, okay? So if the dollar opens and taps into this support and gives us a change of trend a bit, we shall expect to go and retest that level before either continuing lower or reacting a bit and breaking above to do what we have spoken about, okay? So I'm just going to, you can just mark this level here. I'm just going to change the color to that. And then let's go down to the entry time frame so that we can see better and more clearer structures so that we can utilize that I'm speaking about. You can see here now that we have broken below this level here, but this is not a very good break. The market would again break above and then continue, okay? But if in case we have a continuation, when the market opens down here and gives us a weak retest, that's when we could be having a push into this level here. Now, when this happens, it means when DXY is going to this level here, it means we shall be seeing still weak dollar, Euro USD will be going up, GBP USD will be going up in this process, okay? This one here. That's why I've started by breaking down the DXY. So those of you who are going to be trading the dollar-rated pairs, make sure you keep that in mind. If the dollar opens a bit with a good candle, then it gives us a retest into this level and starts pushing down. It means that we expect the dollar to weaken a bit. Then when it reaches and then it changes trend. By changing trend, I mean it has stopped making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. When it changes that and starts coming back upwards, okay, it means that we shall be seeing the Euro USD, GBP USD coming back down. This is what I expect you to put in your head so that you can see the structures clearly, okay? So that is for the DXY. Now, let's also look at gold, our first one that involves the USD. Now, as usual, we're going to start from the monthly time frame, okay? So when you come to the monthly time frame, what do we observe in the monthly time frame? Now, we have been bullish on gold. You can check even the previous videos, okay? So starting immediately from monthly, what do we observe? We see that we have a hidden structure here, okay, that the price is currently pushing and breaking above. I'm just going to change this color, okay? Then when you come down the weekly time frame, also we're going to identify those levels that were broken. So if you want, you can see this is a hidden structure. In all this movement here, You can see this is a wall that was built by sellers. There was a presence of sellers there, so it's agreeing with that. That's the hidden structure that I spoke about, okay? Then also above here, you can see we have this resistance that was broken and was tested, okay? You can see we broke above and came and was tested. It's not a proper test, but okay, it's a test. This is a big time frame, okay? Then now the one that was not tested is this one here, okay? This one was tested, but the one that was not tested is this one, okay? Also, we are going to leave this one here. According to monthly, it was not tested. So that in case you see all these levels being broken, you know that this is our target. Let me just repeat that. We are leaving this because in case price comes and breaks below this level, breaks below this one, this will be our target, okay? Okay. But for now, since it is still above, we shall be focusing so much on this one here because you can see this one here, price came and touched it and then rejected. Also here, we shall be targeting, we shall be focusing so much on this area here, okay? So it's what we are going to be moving with. Now, when you go down to the daily time frame, what do you observe? Now, in daily, you can see this one, we're saying that the price tested it. Are you seeing this? Price came and tested this level. Now, meaning that this week, we are going to be focusing so much on the retest of this area here, around here. You can see also it's confluencing with weekly. Sorry, let me just change this color to this. It's confluencing with the weekly level. So it's a very strong level. So what we want to see on gold, we want to see the gold giving us a retest into this level before pushing high. Of course, the turning point as it is pushing up that gives us a push down is always your first target, okay? So when we have a retest here, we shall be targeting that high or even to go beyond, depending on the structure that is created while it is coming to retest this level, okay? So that is very clear. Now you can clearly see that also gold is giving us the possibility of the dollar gaining strength, okay? When the dollar is gaining strength, in the process, remember we said DXY is we expect it to go and retest, then hit support, okay? As it is also this one is pushing slightly higher. Then when it's coming down, we expect that's the point whereby we have hit support and the dollar will be gaining some little bit of strength. This is the continuation that we shall be seeing here. But also one thing I would like to make clear about gold is that gold focuses so much sometimes on fundamentals because it is like a safe haven. When there's a problem or stocks are having issues or people have some bit of fear, they're going to want to keep their money in something that they can count on, something that has been there for some time. Of course, the modern world has BTC, but the old guys and those old firms, traditionally, they take gold to be that, okay? So that's why you see sometimes someone may be wondering, why is it that when the DXY is doing A, gold is doing B, okay? Because of that reason. So also try to look at what is happening. Look at the VIX. VIX, I don't mean the synthetic, I mean VIX, the fear factor. It's called VIX. That's why it is measured using the S&P 500. So there's a correlation there. We shall talk much. You will see that much more in one of the fundamental videos I spoke about it there. I think it's not yet public, but you'll see it there. So this is what we see on the structure. We expect that and we push higher. Now let's check what is happening in the first entry time frame. Now also in the first entry time frame, we do see that gold broke above this area here, but we didn't have a test. Now here, sometimes, let me just adjust this to this so that it is very neat. So now this is the confluence that we had. So now we want to see gold giving us this pullback here before we can continue higher. Now, depending on the type of trader you are, some of you, this distance is very good for you. Now, if you're a swinger or a position trader, this distance may not be very good for you. You maybe went it for the continuation, okay? But if you're a scalper intraday, meaning that you're going to go a little bit lower, okay, like to H1 and lower. Now, if you come to H1, you can see that we have a resistance here, okay, that you're going to use to your advantage. And we have a support level here, okay, that also you can use to your advantage. So this is a resistance. You can see from here price was rejected, from here price was rejected, from here again price was rejected, but also this is a support, price was rejected, false breakout. Now you can see price came here and is fulfilling this false breakout, then we are pushing the resistance. So depending on what happens here, if there's a change of trend here, then you can be targeting this bottom here. Now, if we break out of here with a weekly retest, then we shall be targeting this level. Then we shall be looking for a change of trend here, and then we can push higher, okay? Or alternatively, if this is gold, If it aggressively breaks up, okay, we shall be waiting for a weak retest on this level. Then we target this same high here, okay? I hope that is clear. I'm trying to go up to intraday time frame because I've realized that in our audience we also have people who do intraday, not only swinging. For us, we do swing, but some people do intraday. That's why I'm going up to those time frames. Now, refining time frames, I want to go there because this one is good when the structure already confirmed that there's a change of trend, the structure is confirmed that there's a change of structure, and also there's a change of trend, we are willing to take the entry, okay? That's when you go to minute 30 and minute 15, and we don't have that right now. That's why I'm stopping in the entry time frame, okay? So I hope gold is clear. If you trade gold, you can compare to your analysis that you've done. Let me just clear this. So let's go to, sorry, let me just put back that. Let's go back to another chart. We have talked about DXY. You can see everything is connecting to the DXY, what we looked at first, okay? Now let's look at, we can look at BTC. We already talked about BTC. We spoke about it some time back, but let's talk about it. As usual, we start from the monthly time frame, okay? Now, when you come to the monthly time frame, what do you see immediately? Now, first and foremost, we had an impulse here, and you can see this one we spoke about it. You can check either on our social media pages. We spoke about BTC. We had this impulse, the same topic that we learned, impulse, correction, impulse. It has already happened, okay? Now, what we are seeing here is a pullback, but the question is, where is it going to stop? Now, when I was teaching you guys market structure, I told you that you look at the immediate turning points. So the immediate turning point we have here is this one. So I'm just going to change the color here. I prefer working with specific colors. Then also, you can clearly see that we have this high here, okay? Just going to change the color also. This turning point here that gave us this high to this turning point, okay? When we're in an uptrend, we're marking highs. So here we have broken below this level and we came and tested, now we push. Now, I want the price to come and test this level because this is an uptrend. Even if we had an impulse, correction, impulse, we've broken this structure, we need the price to test it, okay? Then maybe we can continue higher or we can make a lower high and we continue lower. We cannot guess that. But we first want price to touch here and we see how it behaves. Is it a lower high? Is it a higher high? Is it going to make a lower high and continue down? Or is it going to make a higher high? Or is it going to make equal tops and continue down? We spoke about those three outcomes, okay? For structure, you need to understand that those are the outcomes. There is no any other structure that is going to be formed. Those are the structures, no matter what method of trading you're doing, okay? So, monthly, we have that. We want to come and touch here. But let's see if the lower structures agree. Now you can see weekly, this is the level that gave us the double tops and then it broke below. Then also we have a hidden structure here that now we have broken below and we want price to go back and at least give us a retest. It showed us that there was a retest here. There's a retest here, okay? But then there's a possibility that the market wants to go deeper and make that correction before going lower, okay? Now we shall go more into detail in the next lower time frames to see if it will go lower or not, or it will first go up here, okay, to retest, or it will just continue lower. How do we know that? Now, one thing you observe is that this is an impulsive movement. Why? Because these are only sellers and we broke two turning points. Which turning points have we broken? We have this hidden structure and also we have this turning point here that has been broken, okay? So meaning if there's an impulsive move, what do you want to do? So you get your fib from up here, up to where the sellers came in. Sorry, the buyers came in, okay? Sorry, up to where the buyers came in there. So now we don't want it to go, you can see also there's a confluence here. We don't want it to go beyond this red box here. If the moment it goes beyond that red box, we spoke about the golden ratio. The moment the golden ratio is broken, there's a problem. Now, you can see the price missed it a little bit. So is it that it's going to come and touch here, then we continue lower? Or it's just going to continue lower? It's there that is going to tell us that story, okay? Now, also, another thing that we can mark here is this low here, okay? We have that low. Sorry, we have that low. I can change the color so that we don't get confused. We have this low that gave us the second high, which is a double top, this double top here. This is the low that gave us this high, okay? Then this is the low that gave us that high, making this double top. So This high came and broke through here. So we wanted the market to come and retest through, which is aligning with this fib box that we drew. But we are saying that price should not come and break above. The moment it breaks above, on a retest means that we shall be coming back for this high. Do you guys understand that? This is just pure structure. Eh? So we want price to come back into this box, but remember it has missed it a little bit. Sometimes price does that and just continues and you miss out on the trade, okay? But we can get that in daily time frame. Now let's go down slightly to daily and we see is price really going to continue there. So this is the improper retest that we can see in the monthly time frame, okay? So far monthly, weekly are agreeing that we want BTC to come and test this level before we can make a decision, okay? So also, we have a hidden structure here. Don't always forget to mark hidden structures because they may make you miss out on trades. We have this hidden structure and you can see it held price so tightly. So even if you're to get an entry, make sure that this is one of your targets. So now daily, what do we see in daily? Now, according to daily, price came and broke below this level here and tested. So when it broke below that level, which level gave us that retest? It was this area here, okay? So if why was I saying that there's a possibility of price coming to test here and then it drops, or it may just continue. So we are saying what will make it just continue lower. What will make it just continue lower is if price opens on Monday in a few hours time, breaks below and gives us a weak retest. It can be in a pattern form or just trending, then it changes structure, and then this will be your first target. When it breaks here, on a retest, this will be your other target, okay? This is the way that price will fail to reach this box here. Okay, because it's a very strong confluence fib. Then the turning point that gave us that retest up there, they're all in one place, you can see. Okay, so we are saying that this low gave us that retest that we are seeing there. So if we broke below this low and then we had a weak retest, we broke here and then we had a weak retest without taking out this box, okay, then we shall have to target this one here if there's a change of structure here. Okay, change of trend, not structure. Then we can target this low. When we break this low, we can target this. Then we shall use this movement down to look for a change of structure so that we can continue either up or to come and make a lower high before we can continue down. The same way I explained in the monthly time frame. Okay, so let's check our first entry time frame for H4 if it is agreeing with whatever we have spoken. Now, so far you can see we came here to attempt to test this level here. But now we had some good tests into this level. We have this test, we have this test, we have this test. Now, why did the market stop exactly there? It's because of this false breakout. I think all of you can see that. Whatever we're talking about happens also in the smaller time frame. That's why I said that the time frame does not matter. Just apply the same concepts. You'll see the same thing. So we had this false breakout, price came and then made a proper test on it. Okay, that's why it started dropping. So we are saying that if price again also, when the market opens, you can see it's trending nicely downwards, okay? Of course, also we can also identify levels that are not tested here. Let's first just increase this so that the price may go and test it when price opens. So when you open, when we check which levels are not tested, so for example, the immediate one, this one here was tested, okay? So which one gave us this push to be tested? It's this one. You can see it's confluencing with that low that we are saying. When price breaks it, we shall just be expecting a weak retest into it, then we can continue lower. But also, when you're to mark here, you can clearly see that we have an order block of anybody that price did not test. So also, price can come here, create double tops, then so double bottoms. When it changes trend and pushes here, okay, then we can look for change of trend here because this level here is not tested. You can see it's not clearly tested. And also it was aligning perfectly with the last reaction for us to take a sell here, okay? So either price should break below here, come retest here, then we push to that level now, or when it breaks below, it can also come up to here, depending on change of trend. Do not enter a market without change of trend, okay? Yes, we have marked our levels clearly. We have our levels. We know that we want price to break below this level. But then, when the market is coming to test a level, either refine. If you're not seeing it trending, you can refine. That's the importance of refining. We have talked about refining in the importances of time frames. If you're not seeing the market trending like here, you must be able to see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, like that. If you're not seeing this, make sure you refine. By refining, I mean go to the next lower time frames. For example, here, if I want to refine H4, I'll go to H1. Okay, if I was not seeing this trending, I'll go to H1. Okay, now H1 you see to be much more clearer. Okay, you can see now, you can see things very clearly. If you're not seeing it there, refine further. But we have taught you guys, if you're a swinger, what's your refining time frame? If you're intraday, what's your refining time frame, like that? Okay, according to the best of our knowledge and what we have been using for the past year. So if you trade BTC monthly, we want it to come and touch this level here, but of course we have where it rejected from. Also weekly does agree. You can see we have impulse, so we are correcting. It missed this level by an inch. So sometimes the market may do that. And also I've also shared with you that in case it's not to touch here, you will determine it from daily. If daily breaks this level lower here, and you can see it's confluencing what we saw in H4. If it breaks, then comes and retests those untested levels, either here or here, then look for a change of trend here, then take a trade here. When it breaks here on the retest, again, like that. Then we can utilize this to see, are we getting a lower high, or to continue down, or we are getting a change of structure to continue higher. Those who trade BTC, you can look at that and compare it with your analysis. Okay, so we have looked at gold, we have looked at the BTC and the DXY. But I want you to just remember what we talked about, the DXY and these things that have the dollar. You can see the gold, we expect a retracement, then we continue. What have you seen on BTC? We're finishing this retracement, then we continue. But also BTC, remember I've said in the modern world, it's where people are keeping their money. So once in a while, you'll see it dropping without the technical reasons of the DXY. I have to make that very clear, okay? That's why I've put the analysis closer to each other, gold and that. Now, I want us to go to something different, which is USDJPY, okay? It's not different, but it's still also having the dollar, but it has a bit of JPY. Now, this is one of my favorite pairs to trade on the market, and I follow it so much. So I was expecting it to break this resistance, retest, then we can come and retest here. But let's do it together since we have taken long without doing an analysis together. As usual, we start from the monthly time frame. The process is just the same. Please, guys, do not change that, okay? So let's start from down here. We do have market coming to retest this level here. Let me just change the color so the first retest was here, okay? Price rejected, again came rejected, and then the last one is here. I like working with the last one. You can choose to work with any, okay? That gives you a retest. So it retested here. You can see price came and respected it, which is this one here, okay? This level. Now, this level, you can clearly see why this level, because it gave us this retest. So we broke above, gave us false breakout. We broke above, came back, and gave us false breakout, okay? So is it possible that the market is coming to touch here before continuing? Because this is an uptrend, clearly you can see we're making higher highs and higher lows. We have already taken out the previous higher low, so meaning we are still in an uptrend, okay? So monthly is very, very clear. We spoke about this target here. You guys can check in the previous videos, and you can see it has strongly pushed this price down. But now we're looking at, if we have that resistance, if we have this as our resistance, let me just change the color here, sorry. Where is our support, okay? So our support that we're looking for is this one here, sorry, is that one, okay? Now let's go down the weekly time frame, if it does agree. Okay, if you want, you can also add the second line here to this, because also we have a turning point here. This is a high also. Now when you go down the weekly time frame, what do we have? Remember, we have said that always adjust your levels. So I can just remove, if you want, you can also add this one, but was tested. So I can just remove them to make our charts clean. If price breaks lower, then we can bring them back, okay? Okay, so now you can see this level here was not tested. You can see strong pushed down, respected. You can see broke down, respected it, broke above. You can also, we came here, we're respecting it, we're respecting, then again, we're respecting even below, and we broke above. This level here is not tested. And you can see the momentum upwards is very weak, okay? So we expect something like that before we can push higher. But let's not guess. Let's check exactly what price is giving us, okay? So with this resistance here, we have it here. It's like a neckline to a structure here. But if you go back to monthly, this is the neckline that, actually, let me just adjust it. This is the level. Now, when you come back to weekly, you can see it's a neckline here, okay? So also, this neckline here was not properly tested when we're going down, okay? Then we started dropping, lower low, lower high, okay? Then also, let me adjust this one here. just slightly above there. Then you come down to weekly. This is the level that you're seeing. Price broke above, tested it, broke down like that. Okay. So now I want you to observe how price is going down. So we have that structure. This, remember, this one is not tested. So if price ever gives a change of structure, this is your first target. Don't forget that. I've already mentioned that in monthly. Then again, which one, when we broke down, which one gave us that retest? It was this one here. So we have to mark that. Okay. So again, we are going to mark this level here. Okay. Here. So now, again, what do we observe? We observe a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, low. Then again, we broke above. Now, meaning that this level here has not been tested. So even if we were to create an inverse head and shoulders, you guys remember I told you guys how head and shoulders come about. So we have broken above here and we are on the equal highs. We are here, equal highs. So we have broken above this level. Price can either come and retest here, push above, or make a lower high before breaking lower. Let me repeat that on this chart here. So we have a low, lower high, low, equal highs. Okay. So price can come retest here, go up. Okay. Or price can come, create a lower high, then break down. So this is what we want it to happen, but we don't guess. I wish it can come and create a lower high, break down. On the retest, we take our sell up to down here. Those are the two alternatives. Okay. Price can come, retest here, push higher, or create a lower high, break down. On the retest, this is your area of interest. Then you take your trade down here. Then we can utilize this to first target this level here. When we break above, then we can target whatever we want to go. I hope that is very clear. But you can clearly see so far monthly and weekly are speaking the same thing. Monthly is saying want to come and retest here. Weekly is saying, yes, we can come and retest here, but we have a small problem of this false breakout. Either we come and react, break below on the retest, we target here, or we can react here, then we first come and retest this level here. Okay. This is our first immediate target in case we are to change structure here. Structure is still very bearish. It can continue lower. Okay. Now, let's check daily if daily is agreed. Now, remember, now we have zeroed down. We are only working with this structure that we are seeing here. So you can clearly see also daily is very clear. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now, in daily, you can see daily is clear that we came tested and then we broke above, even tested here. So daily is actually trending upwards. Okay. So we want to see if this selling pressure is going to give us a pull down here before we can go upwards. Okay. So daily, what do we see in daily? We see that when the market came, broke above, tested inside here, and then pushed higher, also came and tested this area here. But remember, weekly, the bigger time frame is saying this level needs to be tested again. That's how double bottoms, triple bottoms happen. Then we can either continue higher or we can react, come retest this neckline, then push lower. Okay. So in daily, we can just add this small level here for intraday, guys. Remember, I told you guys we are going up to intraday time frame. So we have these two levels here because also the market is reacting. You can see it was a resistance here, came retested, broke above, tested, came tested that. Okay. So don't always forget, if the slab is big, adjust when you go to the next lower time frame. So let's check our first entry time frame, or some of you use it as structure. We can also, if you want, you can adjust things there. Okay. So also, if you want, you can just adjust it like this so that it is very neat for you. Okay. So we're having this support level here. Now, if price comes and closes below here on a weekly test, we can target this level here. Okay. Now, remember also here, the market will be making low, lower high, low, lower high, whatever if it continues like that. Okay. Now, if it comes and maybe makes a lower low, also in the daily time frame, it will have, and closes below in the daily time frame, it will have broken this level that we are talking about. Let me just go back to daily so that you can remember. It will have broken this level here. Remember, we are saying that there are two alternatives. If we break below this level, we test, we come down. But if it comes and consolidates here, creates a pattern for reversal and the rest, all those rules that we know, there's a possibility we may be going. If it comes, retests here, breaks below, that's okay. If it comes, retests here and fails to break here, then breaks above instead, then we have said that we have a target up there, this one here, if you guys recall it. Okay. So that's what we do have for those who trade USDJPY. I just want you to remember what we started with. We started with the DXY. The DXY, we have said that it's at support right now. Okay. But it could even further slightly go lower. Okay. Now the slightly go lower is these remaining pushments here that you're seeing. BTC going a bit lower, USDJPY going BTC, sorry, going a little bit up to retest. Also gold retesting and then going upwards. Then also USDJPY coming a little bit lower. This is what you can see reflecting on all these charts. Okay, that's the correlation that I was mentioning about. Now, I'm not going to go further because the other ones are very tiny time frames and something has not yet happened for structure and the rest. Okay, so also this one you can adjust it. Don't forget to always adjust. Okay. So intraday, if the market gives you a very weak momentum into, you guys call them order block or the rest, you can utilize entry here to target this, or below you can also target this for intraday. Okay. Then for those who are waiting for the other one to happen, let it first break below the retest, let it come and happen here. So, or if it just breaks below here, you can utilize this as an area of interest that you can use to buy a pullback if you trade a pullback. Okay. So those are the two possibilities that we have on USDJPY. Okay. So if you are an intraday trader, those are your levels. If you're a swinger, you'll be waiting for it to first touch and see how does it react. Was this neckline tested? If it was tested and there's a change of structure here, then we shall be coming back here before coming down. If it will just react and we break below on a retest, you can sell here before continuing to retest that level there. Those are the two outcomes of USDJPY. You can compare it to your analysis and then you utilize it. Okay. So we have looked at gold, we have looked at BTC and DXY. Okay. So that's enough for the normal market. The rest we shall be posting on our social media page. If you want to search detailed breakdowns, make sure you check our social media pages and you check the breakdowns there and you compare to your analysis. Okay. So do not forget to go and check our social media pages. There's Instagram, TikTok. Also, we have Telegram, but only use the links in the description. Okay. We do not ask you guys for money and for anything else. Okay. So just make sure you use the link in the description that has the official social media handles that we utilize to post our things. Okay. So now let's go to the synthetics. Those who trade synthetics, let's start with the first one, which is the very popular one, which is volatility 75. Okay. Okay. So also synthetics, we're going to do the same as usual. We're starting with everyone's favorite, which is 75, V75. Sorry, volatility 75, or in short, V75. So as usual, we start from the monthly time frame. Now, when you start from the monthly time frame, what do we observe? We observe that there is a level that was not tested up here, which is this. Okay. Or if you want, you can just put here a line. Let me just put a line. Okay. We have this level is not tested. Okay. Let's also check down below if it was tested. This one here. It also wasn't tested. So we have our targets in this area here. But then also you observe that we had a turning point here, which is going to be giving us like a neckline. Okay. It's like a structure. Okay. When we break above, the month is closing tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow is 31st. So if we close above this area, we shall just retest and push here. Okay. That's the what it means, the direction was. Okay. If we close within this area, there will be some indecision. But also I want you to observe what is down here, which created like a double bottom. Okay. We shall adjust it that level. So we have mapped out if the month closes above this level here, we already tested. We broke lower low, lower high, now double bottom. If we break above here, this is the last lower high. So if we break above it, we shall just retest and then we push high. Okay. We shall wait for tomorrow. Okay. So let's go down the weekly time frame. Now let's just adjust. Let's just adjust this level. Okay. So this level here is a support. It became resistant. This one is support. Okay. The ones that we just marked in the monthly time frame. Okay. So let me just clear this so that we can adjust the levels. So let's just adjust the levels here. Okay. So that the slabs are not so big. So this is like this. Okay. Then also we adjust this like that. Okay. These are the levels that we marked in. Actually, let me just bring this closer. here. And also this close, so it's easy for us to adjust, okay? So these are the levels that we marked in monthly. We're just adjusting them, okay? So we are saying if tomorrow closes above here, we shall just expect a retest, then we push. Now, but weekly already closed above this area, and we're going to speak about this weekly. You can see weekly, we have a low, lower high, low, lower high, okay? Equal lows. But now weekly has already broken. Weekly is saying that we're already bullish. We just need to retest here before we can go into our first target. When we break this target, we go to the second one, okay? Weekly and monthly are agreeing, but monthly has not yet closed. Remember, monthly can, this one can reject and closes below here, and then everything changes, okay? So that's why I'm saying that it's better for us to wait for the month to close tomorrow. Let's also adjust this slab here, okay? Okay, so everything is okay. Now, if you come to weekly, this one was tested, this level was tested here, so it's not a threat. This one was tested, this one was tested, even this inside level here was tested. Now, those of you who were following us in the group, we had an update on VISA25. We're waiting for a sell, but you can see it never happened. Instead, it broke above, okay? You can confirm on our social media or our Telegram. Actually, most especially Telegram. Check the link in the description. Only use the link that we share, okay? That's our Telegram, okay? So we expect the change of trend, which never happened in our entry time frame. So there was no sell entry. Now the structure that we're waiting for is here happening, okay? So we're above this level. Also tomorrow, if we close above here, we should just expect a retracement. Then we push above. Now, if you want more targets, this can be a target. Some of you do short-term targets. This can be a target because it was a resistance, broke below, retested, broke below, retested. So this can also be a target, okay? Also, this can be a target, okay? Now, monthly, weekly are agreeing the same thing. Now, what next? Let's check our daily time frame. Now, also daily, we can just adjust. Let's see, is there need to adjust? We can leave it the same. This one, you can just adjust it like this. Okay, like that. Then this one, let's see. If you want, you can also adjust it. But I think there's no need to adjust it. I think there's no need to adjust it. If you want, you can adjust it like that. But I think it's better we leave it like that, okay? Now, when you come down to daily, also the same thing that we are seeing. Now, every level here was tested in daily, but besides where the market rejected from, okay? So we did have, when the market was pushing down, we did have this area here that gave us a false breakout. I'm just going to change the color for you so that you don't get confused. Where you see price is currently, it was a level that price gave us a false breakout. I spoke about this in one of the breakdowns, okay? Excuse me. So you can see here, we did have a turning point where we have marked. We broke down, tested it, broke down, came and gave a false breakout. This is the key thing I want us to focus on here. False breakout here. We came back and tested. So this is a very strong level of resistance. That's why you see the market came here and reacted on it, okay? Do not forget that. Let me actually just adjust this. It's supposed to be slightly above here. Okay, you see this area, that's why price came and reacted on it. But remember, we have a slight level below here to come and test. Now, also, when you go to line chart, we do have a minor bend around this area. If you want, you can use two lines to mark it. We have a minor bend there. That's sometimes you ask yourself why the price has not reached your area of interest. It's because of these hidden structures, okay? So we do have that. Now, when you go back, you can clearly see it's exactly on that hidden structure. If you want, you can mark the whole of it, but I like using the bend, okay? So now our area of interest, we have this one, and also we have this one, in case the market gives us a pullback in this week that has started. Remember, the week closed yesterday, okay? So this is why we're waiting for price to come back. If you trade the reversals, let's wait for the market to change trend. Then we can take a sell up to here. I don't recommend reversals there or slightly here before you can use this to look for change of trend to continue higher. Remember, we said if monthly closes tomorrow above that area, we are bullish, okay? You can see our targets are there. You can also add these minor targets inside there. I've already mentioned that. Then your chart will be very neat. Now, someone may be saying, I trade reversals. Now, let's go to H4 a little bit. Now, when you come to H4 here, okay, when you come to H4, you can clearly see that we don't have a change of trend here. The market is still trending nicely, higher high, higher low. So until it stops making higher highs and higher lows, and then starts trending lower, and then you can take your trade here. I've showed you guys practically how I take trades. I've even done a live trade while recording it for you guys. You can just refer to that. You can use confluences like EMA 200. I've also talked about that. We have a video on it here on our YouTube. So you can see that. So for those who trade reversals, this is still a bullish movement. You don't want to sell in a bullish market. Never make that mistake, okay? Now, for those who are waiting for continuations, we have this as our area of interest and this one currently. But also if the day closes above here, okay, the story may change a little bit, okay? We shall update that in the Telegram group or on the social medias, okay? So that is it for those who trade volatility 75. Now, also let's look at V25-1S. This one was just updated in the group, but before, you can check our social media handles. We say that when we break below this area here on the retest, okay, we are targeting this area and then this area here. So yesterday the update was when we touch this area here, we can look for change of trend to come and retest this area here, maybe before we continue lower because of this false breakout. But for those who are not in the group yet, what do we start with? We start from the monthly time frame. I'm not going to delete these things completely. So when you start from the monthly time frame, what do we observe? We observe that we had a W here. We came tested the neckline. You can clearly see neckline was tested. Okay. Now in the process of testing the neckline, we also have a W. So we want to test the neckline, and you can see the neckline is confluencing with that false breakout that we're going to look at. Okay. So that's why we're having this. So there are two outcomes here. Either we can test the neckline, we make a lower high, then we continue down, or we can actually test the neckline and then we continue high. It depends on what we see in the next lower time frames. Okay, but first we want to test the neckline, then we see either we continue higher or we test structures in the lower time frames, then we continue lower. Okay, so that one is very clear, the direction. Now let's go down to weekly. Now according to weekly, we have a structure actually. So as we test the neckline, this is the neckline area in monthly. As we test this neckline area here, we have a structure. We have a low, lower high, low. So this will be your target. Okay, this here will be your target for the long-term traders, this area here. Okay, I've already marked it. I've already marked one of them there, but I can just increase it like this a little bit. Okay, so that will be your target. Okay, once there's a change of structure and trend, you can target this area after this. But personally, I think that it may go a little bit lower. Let's not use the thinking. We shall use what the chart gives us, okay? Because we exited here. Personally, I exited here. I trade V25. It's second after V75. I exited it from here, okay? But this one I'm not in because it didn't fulfill my entry rules. I didn't take it from here to here, though we talked about these targets, okay? So in case you did not see those targets, I'm showing you why we did them. So monthly is saying that we test the neckline, then we see what next. Is it going to give us a test here, then we go down, or is it going to give us a test, react, then we break above? We shall see that. But already there is a reason for us to test the neckline and first go up, okay? Also, the moving average is dynamic, it is approaching. So we shall have a very good confluence in this area to push it slightly up, okay? So the direction monthly, weekly, the same. Now let's come down to daily, where a bit there's a lot of work to do. Now when you come to daily, you can clearly see that this was the last level that price was playing in. So the moment it breaks below here on the retest, we are looking for sales to target this area here. If you missed here, then there's an opportunity for you in this area here to target this level. But now we have a problem. Our dynamic support and resistance, which in this case is now resistance, we broke below it and retested it. Now we are pushing lower. So I missed this entry here because there was this level here. This hidden structure could easily give a fake out and continue higher, okay? That's why we exited our trades from here. Now, I explained in yesterday's update that what I'm just explaining here. We have broken below here, but we have not tested this area here, okay? So since we have tapped also this level here, we expect price to give us a change of trend here to push higher and then come back and retest here. Or if it just reacts and breaks below on a retest, make sure you take the trade to this level here. Also, this is where I'll be getting interest from. These two levels here, okay? If price reacts here and breaks below on a retest, I'll be looking for sales to here. If it aggressively comes and retests here, I'll use this movement for a change of trend to push down to this level, then use this whole movement, okay, for a retracement to come and test here. Remember the bigger picture, okay? We have a monthly neckline that we want it to react so that whether we can go down more lower or we continue higher. So those of you trade V25-1S, that's exactly what we're looking out for. If you come to H4, everything is very, very clear. We don't have a retest on this level here. This is the level I'm talking about. We don't have a retest at this level. So if price can push a little bit back here with a change of trend, we shall be looking for a sell up to this level. Of course, always your first target is the bottom that has given you the retracement. Okay. Then from here, we can utilize this movement to look for that. Okay. For that push, actually it is this one here, to that push up to here. Then we can see either it's going to react and break above, then we continue with the uptrend, or it's going to reverse and change for us the structure to a bearish structure. Right now, the structure is still bullish. Okay. So we wait for that, right? So those of you trade V251S, this one we have been updating on it. That's what you can utilize. Then let's talk about V50. Also, we did a breakdown on this. But let me just, for those of you who are not following our social media, we can just clear this. As usually, start from the monthly time frame. Okay. Now, from the monthly time frame, we can clearly observe that we have a very strong level of support here. Let me just change this color. We have a very strong level of support here where price is currently rejecting. You can see price was rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. Again, we are rejecting. Okay. Now, also we are saying that if monthly closes exactly where it is, it will have closed below a very strong turning point, which is that one there. Okay. Which is now resistance. This is our support. So we are going to be working with these two levels, this one and this one. Now let's go down the weekly. Now you can clearly see also weekly agrees. Why does weekly agree? Because we have a low, lower high, low. So we expect what? A push here. If there's a reaction, there are two things that can happen here. Okay. Let me just change this color. Okay. So that this is a low. We tested this level here. Lower high, lower low. So we expect it to retest here. So there are two things that can happen there, like I've mentioned. Either the market will come and retest this area, react, okay, then break above. Now, when it does that, we shall be buying up to this level here. But if the market comes, retests here, then changes structure and trend, we continue to sell it up to down here, this bottom here, okay? Okay? But currently, you can clearly see this is a monthly level. You can see it's holding price very strongly. So that, let me repeat that two outcomes. Price will come, react to this level, break above on a retest, and then we start looking for buys up to this high here, where the move started, because every level has been tested here. But also looking at this, you can see also here every level was tested, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We broke above this high, tested it. So meaning that the market has reached this bottom here, but the moment we come and we break below here on a retest, we shall be targeting this bottom here, okay? So this is clearly what we expect, and you can see this is our resistance. The moment we break this resistance to become support, okay? Now, that is still, we're still in a bigger time frame. Now let's go lower to daily and we see exactly if they communicate. So far, monthly and weekly are communicating the same thing. Someone may be wondering how. Monthly told us that this is a resistance, this is a strong support. So from support, we are buying. But when we buy and we meet a resistance, okay, what happens? We expect the market to sell. But the market may not sell further because of the reasons in the next lower time frame. Then we can break above so that the resistance becomes support. Weekly says that we have lower low, lower high, lower low. So in case we touch this level here, and also I told you guys to adjust this level like this because this is a hidden level. This area became big like this. That's why if you can rewind the video, my slab was big up to here. So also weekly saying that we are reacting to this level. In case we react and we break above, this will become support and we shall be looking for buys from this area, okay? Now let's see what daily says in all this. Now when you come down to daily, okay, let me just adjust this. When you come down to daily, what does daily show? Daily shows us that we did have a level here, which now we are interested in, okay, which is this level here, which the market was supposed to react to, but it didn't, this level, okay? It reacted to, but not properly. It's not what we expected. The reaction was not, it wasn't so good. You can see it reacted a bit here. So now, either the market is going to come, react here, comes and retest this broken structure, because we have a structure here. This is a structure. You can see this resistance, reacted. Now, if it closes below and comes here, if it reacts like that, below here, we are looking for sales up to this. So as an intraday trader, all these levels that you've marked are very important interest levels for you. We have this level, we have this level, and also we have this level, okay? So depending on how the market is changing trend in your entry time frame, you can utilize it. So all these levels are key to the people who are doing intraday, okay? So let's go further even into H4. Now, when you come to H4, you can clearly see that this market is still an uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high. So we have not retested this level here. So we want to see how the market comes in. In case there's a change of trend in your intraday time frames, you can buy it back to the untested levels, either here or even back to this resistance, or even higher into this blue level here or this red level. Okay? Or if the market comes and reacts, a reaction is the movement, opposite movement. For example, if we are selling to this level, then a reaction means that it buys a little bit, then we break. On the weekly test, you can sell up to this level here. Now, personally, I also trade V51S. I'm not going to be interested in it for 1 week or two because I want to see what I explained here in weekly. Okay, I want to see this. This is very important for me because I'm a swinger. I want to see the communication here. This is a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I want to see how the market behaves here in the next week, this week and next week. If this week reacts, touches someone, and then rejects, okay, I wait for next week. Will it break or will it give me a continuation? That's what I'm waiting for as a swinger. But as an intraday, you should not be waiting for long, okay? Because your trades are for few minutes, few hours, okay? So that's why I went further into H4 and marked for you also this level here. You can utilize it. When the market comes here, you have this level, and then we can also mark this, okay? You can add here a level. Let me just put for you here. You can add here a level here, this level here, okay? So you can utilize, when it closes below this level and comes here, you can utilize this area, okay? When we break below here on a retest, you can utilize this area like that. This is how intraday guys utilize levels. But for us who are swinging, we are waiting for those big moves. Now, swingers, we shall want to see a very clear structure developing here. Maybe if it does like that, then it changes structure, then we can sell back to this bottom. But now, there's nothing clear for us yet, okay? So those who trade V51S, you can utilize that, okay? So not to make the video long, I think you've seen how we implement exactly what we have taught you guys. In case you have any question, you guys have our email address, all the things that, all our details and the description. Send an inbox. We normally try our best to respond to all inboxes. We have people who have been using the same knowledge, so do not be scared that how can one person respond to all of you. We use the same approach. Our answers will be exactly the same when you ask any of us the question that you want to ask. Our approach is the same. We're not going to, we don't jump from one method to another method. This week we're using this, next week we're using that. No. If you've been following our channel, the approach is the same, okay? And I know sometimes it will become boring to some of you because you're not seeing a new strategy, you're not seeing new this, and that's exactly why the problem is for most traders. That's why our level of consistency takes long. We take long to become consistent because this week we are using this, next week we are using that, the other week we are using the other. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So that is it. Others we shall be uploading them on our social media pages. Make sure you follow us there. The link is in the description. Okay? Have a profitable week ahead.